Hi, Israel. This is Henry. Responding to your request for a quick video about how you can get more exposure online. So right now I'm on the website link you posted, Dflysd.com. So I like right away you have a right here you mentioned free shipping on orders over $70. You got your logo front and center. So it looks like you got a cityscape here as well too. And then it's good you have a shop now button right there, so that's your clear call to action. Then you show off some of the products there, which is good. Going down, it's good you have like CBD oil 1000 milligrams, all the different like gummy squares 750 milligrams. They have an about us section, which is good. The testimonials is another good thing. And then yep, you have it's good you have blogs on here too, you can leave them to there. One thing I'd recommend though, I think this image I see it's like a dragonfly. Like I'm not sure how that relates to CBD, but I just think, oh, it's like you should have something that's related to a CBD product instead in that image. And another thing too, I know this is a cityscape, so I'm just curious, oh, what city that is, but you want to make sure this is moved up even more. Like you want them to see that really first thing that's a shop now, like right there and there. You want to make sure the user has a quick decision to make. Like, hey, it's like you clear call action you want them to do is buy something from your store. You want that to be prevalent right away. And I want to show you what happens when somebody searches for CBD oil. Somebody searching for CBD oil on Google, we're in the organic section, and having a spot on page 1 is where you want to be. But right here, it's like healthline.com is the #1 spot, and they have an article about like benefits of CBD oil. Then we go down, got WebMD. Right here's the map portion of Google. So depending on where you're located, you want to have a top 3 spot wherever your market is, wherever your headquarters are. And we go down, Very Well Health, see Health Harvard. So MedTerraCBD.com was like the first like e-commerce site to appear. We're gonna take a look into them, and it looks like it's a product page for them. And then we go down, and another thing too, it's like usually whenever somebody's like certain companies will buy space on Google to advertise on it for a specific keyword, but because there's regulations with CBD that's not allowed. But like if they reverse that, it'll be another good place. But it's like renting space on page 1 when you're advertising there, and it's always better to own than it is to rent. So we're gonna take a look into some Google search stats. So as you see here, like page 1 accounts for 91.5% of the traffic. Once you leave page 1, it's like it falls off significantly. So if it's like a web page is either found on page 1 or they're nowhere to be found. And there's a lot of opportunity too by being on page 1. Like some businesses could add hundreds of thousands of dollars in extra revenue, if not more, just having position on page 1. But the spots are really crucial. So you want to have the top 3 spots are have the most traffic. And here's the difference between getting the #1 spot and that last spot. That last spot, the first spot gets 30% more traffic than the last spot. Well, depending on where your market is, if you get a top 3 organic spots go along with that top 3 map listing, you're gonna have more website visitors. And the more website visitors you'll get, they'll in turn lead to like more placed orders, and then you can use the extra revenue from those placed orders to grow the business even further, whether expanding a product line, going to other locations, and so on. So let's take a look here at this at MedTerra CBD page. This is for one of their products, so that's important too. Like you want to make sure all your product pages are really optimized for a Google search. So you see, like right here, they have a nice clean image. It's simple. So you see, one of our most popular products, CBD tinctures, are made with 99% CBD and MCT oils. Maybe MCT oils in there. And then they have like 500 milligrams, 1,000, 3,000. So they've made in the USA, THC free. See, there's a lot of description here too. Like they have a lot of text about their products, so certification, returns. You want to have as much information as possible about the product on there. You can even tell a story about how to use the products, like the ingredients, like they do, what's about, like what's included in it, everything else, maybe the whole process about how to make it as well too. Google looks for authoritative content when they're ranking websites. So even like you want to have as much information as possible about CBD as well too. So I saw you had a blog too. So like the more blog articles you post about CBD, you want them to be at least 500 words. But even going past that, the more the merrier. There's no such thing as too much. it's like you want to be the Wikipedia of CBD in your market and nationwide. So like just adding more and more information is the way to go. But while having lots of authoritative content is very essential, just one piece of the puzzle, another thing needed to rank to the top of Google is backlinks. Backlinks when you put your website link onto another website. Not all backlinks are created equal, some are more powerful than others. Similar to being a kid at a school is trying to rise up in popularity, with Google being the judge of the popular kids. So it's like it doesn't like you couldn't be the kid. It's like a kid with great looks and great personality might not rise up to popularity because they're not getting those votes of confidence. And same thing with a great looking website with great content. You have to go out there and get your name out. So let's say, for example, hightimes.com wrote an article about one of your oils, and they said how great it was, and they had your website link on there, and they gave you a follow. Google will see that and be like, oh, hightimes.com likes Dflysd, we're going to move them up the rankings. So you'll find more and more of those popular sites to link up to. But if you put your website link onto a new site, we'll call it like joescbd.com, and they gave you a follow, Google will see that and be like, oh, who's Joe CBD? And they like Dflysd. We're going to keep the ranking the way it is because the opinion doesn't carry much weight. So we're going to go into a tool now called Ahrefs. This gives you an overview about how a website's doing with their search engine results. So here, your headlines good. You mentioned Dflysd. It's a U.S. grown premium quality CBD. So it's good you mentioned gummies, oils, topicals. Right now, you're not appearing for any keyword searches. You have 8 backlinks. Right, see, then right here, the traffic's not producing any revenue at the moment. With backlinks, you want to make sure you're linked up to as many quality places as you can. It's good to have a lot, but it's all about the quality. And you want to make sure you're linking up to sites relevant to what you do. So that's CBD. It could be like cannabis, business, health, supplements, food, anything related to that. And we're going to take a look at some of the backlinks right now. So you have onlinecbdstore.com. So that looks like it's a relevant one. You definitely want to get more of those types of links. We're going to take a look here at Medterra's page. So they say here CBD oil and cannabidiol tincture oil. See, like our traffic is at over 14,500. It's a lot, and they appear for over 1,400 keywords. They have 1,600 backlinks. You see their traffic has it's valued at 4,900. So that's important too. Like having strong search engine presence does lead to a lot of revenue. And you can actually see if your competitors are linking to and try to link up to those same sites. But take a look at some of the keywords they rank for. See, Medterra CBD, so that's their brand name. It gets searched 70 times a month. So, like, see right here, they mention like 3,000 milligrams CBD oil. Search 400 times a month. Right here's the keyword difficulty at 23. The lower the number means it's like easier to rank for, but that number 1, so they get a lot of search results from that. And that's important. Like all your product pages should be optimized for searches. People are searching for products, so like that could be 3,000 milligrams CBD oil, like there. The CBD oil bottle could be another one too. It gets the keyword densities at 2. So they have 3,000 mg CBD tincture. If you have that, that's another one. 19 keyword difficulty. Let's see some other ones. Oh yeah, like 500 milligram CBD tincture. Keyword densities at 3. So it looks like another thing too, like the longer tail keywords don't have as much search volume, but they can convert higher because they might not have as much traffic. That's how it usually works in Google search. Like those higher, those longer tail keywords is where the purchases usually happen. And like, yeah, CBD tincture, 500 milligrams. There's a lot of keyword searches they're appearing for, but a lot of these keywords that include like the amount of milligrams is definitely producing from them. They don't look as competitive as some of these other keywords. So like right here, the cannabinoid, cannabidiol CBD oil for sale. See the keyword density is at 90. That means it's extremely competitive to rank for. Like buy CBD oils competitive as well too. So you want to get as granular as possible about the product. We'll take a look at some of their backlinks now. So they're on Medium. You can get one from there. Write an article on Medium. MSN.com. It's another one. They have some strong sites. Health.com, Shape.com, EcoWatch, Aging in Place, So yeah, I mentioned earlier you want to be linking up to like business, health related sites, supplements, anything related to like THC, cannabis, CBD, and so on. And in your market too, one thing that these tools do not account for is the Google Maps traffic. 70% of that traffic does go organically, but 30% is in maps. So in your market, you want to make sure you're in the top three in maps. And one thing you'll need to get to the top are citations. Citations, the number of times your business name, phone number, and address are listed across the web. You want to make sure you have between 50 to 100 plus more citations than your competition. But sometimes having way more citations than your competition won't always leapfrog you in the rankings. But what will help is if you keep making the necessary optimizations to your product pages, adding authoritative content as well too about CBD, and then getting those strong, relevant backlinks. So I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.